I would now like to invite friend and colleague Mindy Nierenberg, Senior Program Manager at Tisch College, who will be introducing Kristen Johnson.
Good morning, everyone. Unconquerable soul is a phrase from the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Unconquerable soul, that is Kristen Johnson. How does a human being respond to situations that they're born into when the odds are stacked against them for success? Kristen faced what some might consider insurmountable obstacles, and her resilience, her unconquerable soul, brought her here to Tufts 4 years ago. What Kristen has done during her 4 years at Tufts is what has moved me to nominate her for this award. Kristen is a Tisch Citizenship and Public Service scholar. In her sophomore year, Kristen and a fellow scholar, Ann Noling, worked with the West Medford African American community to do a history project that was based on a collection of over 100 funeral programs that residents had collected that were sitting in drawers and closets. And these residents felt that these programs would tell the story of their community, of their own resilience, how over the past 100 years they had met social, racial, economic problems head on. And so Kristen and Ann worked with these programs, worked with a committee of sometimes difficult elderly members of the community with a lot of opinions. Yes, you know Rosalind. And actually worked and now have a book published called A Legacy Remembered, the African American Community of West Medford. The profits from this book are being donated to the West Medford Community Center. And I'd just like to read a quote from an email from a community member I was copied on. I just wanted to reach out and thank you, and this is to Kristen, to thank you for your presentation and participation at the West Medford Community Center last night. I know that all the board members with whom I spoke were really impressed with you, and to me, you represented yourself beautifully and Tufts brilliantly. There's always tension in our little neighborhood about who is an ally, and I think you reinforced that Tufts is a significant community partner with committed people like you to work with. What an amazing thing for a Tufts student to do with community members that they had not known before. Kristen studied abroad in the fall of her junior year in Ghana, and that's a pretty big adjustment culturally and traveling across the world for someone who's basically traveled from her hometown of Baltimore to Boston before. And rather than just studying in Ghana, Kristen sought out and secured an internship with an organization called Innovations for Poverty Action. In the spring, when she returned to Tufts as a Tisch scholar, she found an organization in Roxbury called Alternatives for Community and Environment. And she traveled all the way to Roxbury, but most of our students consider Roxbury all the way. But as a volunteer, she did that for 8 hours per week, and the organization's mission is to build the power of communities of color and lower income communities in New England to eradicate environmental racism and classism and achieve environmental justice. After doing that in the summer, Kristen got funding to return to Ghana and did research on microfinance. And now as a senior scholar, Kristen has been building on that global environmental interest to work on as the project manager for wind turbines in Zimbabwe. And she works with youth in Zimbabwe to have them do a service learning project on energy conservation there, which is pretty amazing to do from Boston to Africa. As a senior scholar, she went to Jamaica, and there in Jamaica did an urban plan for the Black River community. And she's been a leader here at Tufts. She also was a former president of the Pan-African Alliance, and she served as a peer mentor at the Africana Center. I want to talk, though, about something that Kristen did this year as a senior. Not only was she involved with all of that and was a vibrant scholar academically, but Kristen also is a poet. She has the soul and voice of a poet. She's creative. So while doing all of this, she also wrote a play, which was performed by the Bear Botkin Theater, a student theater group. She served as director of the play, wrote the play. And this play, I wish all of you could have been there to see it. It was the story of Kristen's life that took courage to put forth. It was written in a Black dialect. It was poetic monologues, and it told her story. I've known Kristen for 4 years, since she was a first year, and to see this side of her, to see someone be able to creatively say, this is who I am, helped so many other students be able to say, this is who I am, I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of the strength that got me to this place. E.E. Cummings wrote, "It takes courage to grow up and turn out to be who you really are." Kristen, we all honor your courage, the person that you are. You're passionate, committed, creative, have an outstanding intellect. Kristen's going to further her education at UC Berkeley in a graduate program in urban planning. She won a full scholarship. She got admitted to every graduate program that she applied to. I look forward to knowing the impact that Kristen's going to make on the world, and I know that she'll continue this journey through life with her characteristic grace, courage, and unconquerable soul. I honor you, Kristen.